from the night team. A traffic stop takes a terrifying turn.
And within minutes, I just heard bang, 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 bang.
A Vancouver officer left fighting for his life.
One of the worst nightmares that a chief could go through.
What we've learned about the two men police say shot one of their own.
It's a warm night as we get ready for the hottest day of the year so far. A heat advisory is on. I'll tell you if it will be a record high coming up.
Plus, watch a close encounter with a whale.
Where the news comes first. News Channel 8 at 11 starts now.
Gunshots rock a Vancouver neighborhood, leaving a police officer fighting for his life. Police say it started as a traffic stop, but quickly took a dangerous turn.
The night team's Mike Benner spent the night looking into what the suspects did in the minutes after that shooting, and he's live tonight at Peace Health Southwest Medical Center with more on how that injured officer is doing tonight. Mike?
Well, Joel, last check, the officer was listed to be in critical condition. You have to keep in mind he was shot multiple times. In fact, the chief of police here in Vancouver calls it one of the worst nightmares a chief can go through. Before the sun went down tonight, investigators took aerial photos of the street where a Vancouver motorcycle cop was shot multiple times during a routine traffic stop hours earlier.
Heard the gunshots, knew it wasn't fireworks. Could instantly tell something was happening, and ran downstairs. While several neighbors ran to the officer's side, authorities say the suspects took off in their truck, but they didn't make it far. They crashed into a tree by Diamond Park. The suspects bailed out of the truck and went different directions, according to witnesses. Matt Gwynn encountered one of them.
I kept telling him not to leave, just to stick around, and he said, "I don't have a license, I have to go." And he kept telling me he didn't have a license.
As heavily armed officers descended on the neighborhood to begin their search for the suspects, witnesses say one of the men was trying to find a getaway car.
The guy comes up to our window, and he says, "You guys got to get me the hell out of here." He said it twice. He said, "You guys got to get me out of here. You guys got to get me out of here."
Rodney Dickerson and his buddy refused to give the man a ride. They say he was desperate and zeroed in on an older man, assaulting him and stealing his truck.
He had the keys in his mouth because he had his hands full, and the guy just took them and left.
Eventually, that man and the other suspect were apprehended, but not before shooting a police officer and terrorizing an entire neighborhood.
This never happens here. You know, this is a nice, quiet neighborhood where I grew up.
Now, it's important to note that the truck that was originally stopped by the motorcycle cop was reported to be stolen. In the meantime, we understand that the questioning of the two suspects has lasted well into the evening. Assuming they are eventually booked, they'll appear in court tomorrow morning or Wednesday morning. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike Benner, live for us tonight in Vancouver. A Portland man is dead and a neighborhood on edge after a shooting in a neighborhood full of kids. This happened around 2:45 this afternoon in the 4900 block of North Fessenden Street. The night team's Catherine Cook is there live for us tonight with the latest from police. Catherine?
As well as neighbors, Joe. In fact, they tell us this was a drive-by shooting. And while police are not confirming that tonight, they do tell us they are looking into whether or not this was a gang-related crime. A lot is happening right now behind us. You can see police are just leaving the crime scene. They just took down the yellow tape that had been up here on North Fisk and North Fessenden for the last 9 hours. And within minutes of that, a group of about 30 to 40 people carrying balloons, candles, and well wishes for the victim went through, and they are now having a candlelight vigil. Neighbors say regardless of the motive here, they're angry and sad. Crime tape and tears surrounded North Fessenden and North Fisk this afternoon, the aftermath of a deadly shooting.
And all I heard was bang, 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 bang.
Ari Lowry was terrified knowing dozens of kids were outside playing when the shots rang out.
I guess I've just seen too many bodies. It happens too often now. And it sucks because I know there's little kids. I know if my little brother was here, I'd be scared to death.
I just wish I could have saved them.
This neighbor didn't want to show her face, but says she gave the victim CPR to try and save him.
I grabbed his hand and I told him, "Come on, baby, you can make it, you can make it." And I grabbed his hands and he squeezed my hand a little bit.
Police say 24-year-old Andrew Coggins died at the scene, the victim of just the latest shooting in this neighborhood.
Well, it's been heating up. He had a gunshot in the park. That's a couple of months ago. They shot in her window. And then we had the 2 incidents prior to this. I mean, they came on around the corner shooting guns.
A lot of times these shootings kind of begin ramping up this time of year or even earlier some years.
Police interviewed dozens of witnesses, including passengers aboard this TriMet bus. It happened to be driving by right when the shooting happened.
It was so fast, I just can't understand it.
Neighbors are tired of the crime, they're tired of the tears, and they're tired of being afraid.
Somebody wanted these guys dead.
Back live here in North Portland, you can perhaps make out the faint light of candles in the distance there, as well as dozens of people who have gathered to pay their respects to the victim. Police are still trying to locate witnesses. They're also reviewing a lot of surveillance video and audio recordings. If you were out here and you were a witness, police would like to talk to you, as well as if you have potential surveillance video. Back to you.
Thank you, Catherine Cook, live in North Portland for us. It was quite the warm-up today, and it's only going to get hotter tomorrow. Temperatures are expected to reach at least the mid-90s, and that has TriMet warning passengers there could be delays. Trains are forced to slow down when it heats up, and afternoon commuters should allow some extra time to get to where they're going.
The overhead wires can sag. The rails can actually expand and get kinks in them.
But it's not all bad. We saw plenty of people outside tonight enjoying the heat, from enjoying water sports on the Willamette to taking a stroll on the waterfront to kids cooling off in the fountains.
Enjoy it, I guess, but it's best to enjoy it safe for yourself and for your family. So I love this weather, actually. Summer's supposed to be summer and winter's supposed to be winter, so.
I like it because we don't get to get it very often, so it's nice for a change.
I'll say, so just how hot is it going to get and how long will it last? Meteorologist Rod Hill is here with a look at what to expect tomorrow. Rod?
Well, for starters, Laurel, this is a pretty impressive warm-up. You go back to Sunday, it was 72. Today, 85 out at PDX, and tomorrow, 95 or hotter. So that's a pretty steep climb. We're at 70 right now. It certainly feels like the middle of summer outside. The heat advisory posted. This is important to note because it's only posted for tomorrow, one day. It will go into effect before noon at 11 a.m., then expire tomorrow evening, right about sundown time at 9 p.m. So again, one day. We get the east winds tomorrow. We heat up. We get the west winds just like that on Wednesday, and that will cool us back down. So here are your temperatures as you plan your Tuesday. You get up in the morning, it'll feel warm, 60, and already up to 82 by noon. And there's that 5 o'clock temperature of 95 or better. Now, by the way, the record tomorrow is 105. So that's not going to be broken. But if we go higher than 97, then tomorrow would be warmer than any day we had all of last summer. So it's been a while. Back to you.
All right, Rod, thanks very much. Milwaukee police say a person of interest in a brutal beating is in custody tonight. Police say they found Timothy Sullivan in an apartment on River Road after getting a tip from the public. He's facing an assault charge in an attack on 58-year-old Joe Garvey. Garvey says he saw a car speeding down his residential street last Thursday and yelled at the driver to slow down. The car then stopped and 3 people got out. What followed was a brutal attack. Garvey was repeatedly hit. Today we talked with one of Sullivan's friends who says Sullivan was pushed first.
Most people will react right away, and that's what happened. I mean, it's not like he said we tried to hit him and then got out the car and beat him up. No.
Well, I think that story is baloney. None of that happened, but for a friend to come up with a defense for his other friend, I don't know if he's a good friend or not.
Garvey says he is still very sore and bruised. He has a broken nose and stitches across his face.
A new ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court has a lot of people talking today. The court ruled some corporations can refuse to provide birth control benefits by a narrow margin. Justices ruled craft store Hobby Lobby does not have to provide certain forms of birth control. The conservative side of the court said the company owner's religious objections over some forms of birth control allowed them the right to opt out of providing it.
This was about protecting and defending the rights of all Americans to run their businesses according to their deeply held convictions.
I'm disappointed that 5 men made this decision and all of the women were on the other side in favor of women's rights.
We spoke with a law professor who said today women should still be able to get contraceptives, but they will have to work directly with their health insurance company.
Another Supreme Court ruling could affect thousands of workers here in Oregon. It's a story you'll see in tomorrow's Oregonian. The court gave some home health care workers the right to opt out of paying dues to two of the state's major public employee unions. But the justices did not strike down another similar law applying to state workers. The ruling is getting mixed reviews. Some say it will allow workers more freedom, while others say it will just weaken unions for everyone. For more on the ruling and just how many workers it will affect, again, pick up a copy of tomorrow's Oregonian.
Starting this week, be prepared to give blood if you're stopped by an Oregon State trooper and you refuse to take an alcohol breath test. State police are launching a no refusal period as part of 4th of July enforcement efforts. That means police will work with prosecutors and judges to quickly obtain blood draw warrants for drivers who decline blood alcohol content testing. In Oregon, refusing to take a breath test results in a 1-year license suspension. Some drivers take that route to try to avoid a longer sentence. If you're heading out on a road trip this 4th of July, you will be paying more than last year for gas. Right now, AAA says the average price for a gallon of regular in the U.S. is $3.68. In Oregon, it's higher. Statewide, we're paying $3.98. That's up slightly from a week ago, but way up from last year when it was $3.77. What's behind the hike? Analysts had predicted a drop, but then came the fighting in Iraq. And gas isn't the only expense that's higher this year. Airfare and hotels are up about 5%. But they say, look on the bright side, the national average is 50 cents cheaper than the summer of 2008.
Facebook getting some pushback after users learned they were part of a psychological experiment. The company says it's all legal and allowed under the agreements users signed. So what's really in the fine print for all those websites we've come to rely on?
Cougars and bears spotted across the metro area over past week. So is it really that unusual? And should neighbors be concerned?
Plus, going surfing with a right whale. It happened this weekend off the coast of Australia. Why this incredible experience, though, wasn't exactly legal. We'll be right back.
Thank you for making KGW News Channel 8 the area's most trusted news station. Number one, all afternoon and evening for local and national news. Honored as Station of the Year by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters. KGW News Channel 8.
Imagine instantly and effectively removing any unwanted fat from your body. With body contouring from Sonobello, it's possible. It's why more than 35,000 men and women have trusted Sonobello for targeted fat removal that's more convenient and more affordable than it's ever been before.
Sonobello was the catalyst to get healthy. I have the body that I had in my 20s.
Sonobello physicians specialize solely in body contouring. And it's how we achieve such incredible results for our patients time after time.
You can have the slim, toned, sexy body you've always wanted.
I love my Sonobello body. My husband loves my Sonobello body.
Now it's easier than ever to get your sexy back with Sonobello. Call 1-800-651-1663. Or go online now for a free, no-obligation consultation. Learn how quick and affordable your procedure can be. Call 1-800-651-1663. For a free consultation, or go online now.
Tonight, Fallon's playing Word Sneak with Ricky Gervais.
I went to an Irish pub, Shaquille O'Neal's.
Plus Ansel Elgort, Miranda Lambert, and fans meet Macklemore's Ryan Lewis.
Oh my God.
Then Seth has Daniel Radcliffe. The Tonight Show, followed by Late Night, NBC Tonight.
Grand Slam, an American Dream, has the largest inventory and selection of premium fireworks with the best brands like Cutting Edge, World Class, and Shogun. Get everything you need for your celebration today at Grand Slam in Southwest Washington or American Dream with convenient locations throughout Oregon.
You need a new car. You have a budget. You need a best value Kia from Bob Lanfear's Beaverton Kia, your West Side Kia connection. Choose from over 200 best value buys. You won't find more Kia for your money. Like a new Kia Optima for just $180 a month, a 2014 Soul just $159 a month, or a new 2015 Sorento for just $197 a month. All with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The Kia Best Value Sale, only at Bob Lanfear's Beaverton Kia in downtown Beaverton.
Get a snapshot of your day on Twitter and Facebook, plus your 7-day. The forecast at your fingertips. See and share your weather pics at #KGW Weather.
Your own personal forecast at home and on the go.
Another reason KGW News Channel 8 is where the news comes first.
Some Australian surfers got an up-close look at a southern right whale this weekend. You can see one of the surfers hurry to paddle away when the whale flicked its tail. One young boy nearby says it was an incredible sight.
I was paddling out then, and then I saw it was pretty big.
Yeah, I'll say the surfers were actually a little too close to the whale. By law, people are supposed to stay at least 300 feet away. Wildlife officials say the whale was likely pregnant and came so close to shore looking for a quiet place to give birth.
It is a pretty sight, though, isn't it? Another huge recall for troubled automaker GM involving 7.5 million cars sold in the U.S. And this time, it's not just new vehicles. It goes all the way back to 1997. GM says the keys may rotate in the ignition of some older sedans. The company knows of 3 deaths and 7 crashes involving the older cars, but says there's no evidence the defect is responsible. GM says until the cars are fixed, drivers should take all extra keys or keychains off their key rings.
Facebook is for sharing, but a recent revelation by the social media network has some users a bit unsettled. The company altered a number of users' feeds as part of a psychological experiment. Facebook changed the order of more than 500,000 users' news feeds to study their emotions, and they did all of it without users' knowledge. And while that has a lot of people upset, Facebook says it falls within their privacy policy. You know, the one hardly anyone actually reads.
Purposefully generalized. So it allows them to utilize your data. You could read it 3 times and still not know really what they're doing with your information.
Before you get too angry with Facebook, their privacy policy isn't much different from the multitude of others most of us sign off on in any given year. If we read all the fine print, get this, it's estimated it would take 30 straight working days to get through it all.
Okay, start reading. From bears to cougars, it seems the Portland area is going a little bit wild these days. There have been a number of sightings reported, the latest one just this morning. A neighbor spotted a cougar in a tree near 167th and Hoyt in Gresham. Just yesterday, 2 people reported seeing a cougar near Southeast 121st and Division. And a few days ago, some big cats were spotted in Hillsborough. Then there's the trio of bears bothering neighbors in Washougal. I love that picture. And who could forget the black bear that wound up in a tree in northeast Portland? Wildlife officials say it's all because of all the green space around here, and the animals are searching for food.
And if they find a garbage can or a pet food container or a bird feeder, that's gonna look pretty good to them because they're opportunistic. They go to the easy stuff.
Yeah, the low-hanging fruit. Who wouldn't? Wildlife officials are investigating these cougar sightings, but they say so far they've not found any hard evidence that they were, in fact, cougars.
Rod Hill back now, and he has some perspective for us on this.
All right, you ready?
We're ready.
It's not going to be a record. and I say that with a big thank goodness because, again, tomorrow's record is 105. We wouldn't want to break that.
No, we wouldn't.
Would we? All right. So here's a look at, again, tomorrow's forecast. I think 95 for sure, meaning I think we're either 95 or hotter tomorrow. You know, as a forecaster, the air is actually warm enough tomorrow that we could hit 100. I would be more shocked if it were only 91 than I would be if it were 99 or 100 tomorrow. So we'll see just how high we go. Again, there's that record back in 1942 for the date, normally 77, but that includes all those averages of days where it was cloudy and wet. So you figure an average sunny day this time of the year would be more like low 80s. The heat advisory up just for one day up and down the I-5 corridor. You see it here, so that's good news. We'll still get that west wind and cool off big time as early as Wednesday. So the July 4th holiday still looks very dry and very comfortable. The only question is, with highs around 80 on Friday and Saturday and 78 on Sundays, whether or not we'll see any significant morning cloudiness. With a light west flow, you figure we could get some morning clouds. The dry pattern is holding firmly, though. These clouds going all the way up around us, so no chance of any rain here on the west side, although there is the chance of some scattered thunderstorms beginning Wednesday afternoon on the other side of the Cascades and out across eastern Oregon, I should mention. 70 degrees is our temperature, real warm out there. 69 up in Klamath, Battleground equaling that. Oregon City's at 71. Salem's in the low 70s. McMinnville and Dallas, good evening, you're at 68. 53 in Baker City, it's a little bit cooler out there and along the beach. Newport's at 54 degrees. Okay, who's going to be warm tomorrow? The coast. Yes, if you like it, This will be the one day where the coast will be big-time summer-like with 87 in Astoria, 88 in Tillamook. We could have a 90 somewhere. Wouldn't be surprised if Seaside does it. East winds kicking up a little bit at the beach. Expecting Newport to be a little bit cooler at 76 degrees for a high temperature. Up and down I-5, going 96 degrees or so in Salem. Again, we have the heat advisory for one day and one day only. East winds out in East County and other spots could hit 20 miles per hour at times tomorrow, and that will help us heat up. I think everybody stays in the 50s. In fact, a lot of us will be right around 60 in the morning. So these are the give-me temperatures, forecasting mid-90s, but again, I think that is at least, as I mentioned. Up on the mountain, do not overdress. Government Camp 82 and Timberline about 71 tomorrow. Notice that freezing level, 16,000 feet. So let me get over here. So my summit temperatures, 36 tonight, staying above freezing. And if you're up there tomorrow waving at everybody, it'll be about 50 degrees on the tip top. Here's a look out east. Temperatures here about the same as we'll see here on the west side. In the mid-90s on average, sunny skies, northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. I will tell you, if you live in the Columbia River Gorge, had a graphic problem, so I don't have your map for you. But Cascade Locks, Hood River, the Dalles, all 93 to about 97 degrees. East winds could hit 25 miles per hour in the west end, meaning this side of the falls. Okay, our 7-day numbers, here we go, 95. But look at Wednesday, all the way back to 83 or maybe mid-80s. But certainly you will notice it won't be as bad, and the westerlies will be back. Thursday could be some morning clouds, 79, and then right around 80 degrees as we roll through the holiday weekend, which just looks great. 75 on Monday. By the way, this dry weather, let me make one correction in this graphic. No rain through July 17th. The latest charts coming out this evening go that far, and they give nothing for the Portland metro area. And a reminder that we can go without anything in July. August, just 2 years ago, we only had a trace. And even September, and this may surprise you, it surprised me when I looked it up, only a trace of rain in the year 1993. Nick, of course, will update our heat advisory for you. News Channel Sunrise starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
At least it's just a one-day heat wave. We can handle that.
It is. And you figure it's only going to be really hot in your house for maybe 6-7 hours.
Okay.
And you can have a cold iced tea.
Thanks,
And it
Rod.
won't be a record.
No.
Things getting a little tense in Brazil. Win or go home time for the teams left in the World Cup. Art?
Oh, that's right. Team USA got some news about one of the top players on the squad. Will he play? The rest of the team's not really worried about that right now. They are getting themselves ready for the big match with Belgium. We'll hear what they think they need to do in order to win coming up next in sports.
American Dream has the best selection of premium fireworks with convenient locations throughout Oregon.
When you first get in there, it's like you really don't know what to expect, and then as time progresses, then you realize that it's something that you got to work at. It's not just something that happens overnight. The whole staff was just excellent, all the way into the kitchen staff, to the people that cleaned the house or had housekeeping. Yeah, everybody was awesome. The doctors, the nurses, everybody.
You're smart, independent, and free to save thousands on Hyundai's entire lineup during our 4th of July sales event. Get 0% financing for 72 months. Or get up to $2,500 in total savings. For a limited time only, Hyundai will make your first 2 months' payments. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty. Now that's smart. Buying a new Hyundai at the 4th of July sales event isn't just smart, it's Hyundai smart. Hurry, it all ends soon. The smart move is to see your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealers.
Celebrate independence. Shop DeWitt for the lowest prices of the year on American-made home appliances. And get no interest financing for 18 months. Now through July 7th. The best appliances at the best price. DeWitt, Portland's appliance experts on Airport Way.
I love my job, I do, but finding time in my packed schedule for a doctor's appointment is always a challenge for me and my family. I found Doctors Express online, set up an appointment, and within an hour, we were face-to-face with an experienced doctor.
When you need urgent medical care or when your doctor can't fit you in, go to Doctors Express. We offer quality urgent care 7 days a week. Walk in or make an appointment. Visit DoctorsExpressPortland.com to learn more about our services.
Exclusive Unit 8 investigation.
Why are you living out here? Cheap rent.
Demanding accountability.
Kyle Bush with Channel 8. We're doing a story on illegal dumping.
Asking the questions you want answered.
So who's complaining about the sidewalk?
Our community, your story. KGW News Channel 8.
Team USA coach Jurgen Klinsmann says that Josie Altidore is fit and ready to play in the team's next match tomorrow. He didn't say how much Altidore might play or even if he would play at all. Altidore went down in the Team USA's first match with a strained hamstring. While we wonder about Altidore, Team USA is getting ready to play Belgium in the knockout round at the World Cup. It is win or go home at this point of the World Cup. The players say they know that, but they just have to keep their cool.
Hopefully we don't play too tight. You know, the moment and the enormity of situations sometimes puts a lot of pressure on players, and just depends how we handle it. But I think we've been really loose and enjoyed our training, and around the hotel things have been not too uptight. So I think we'll be able to handle the pressure.
The match between Team USA and Belgium is set for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Now, while Team USA gets ready, the other teams are playing and hoping to stay alive. More matches in the round of 16 at the World Cup today. France and against Nigeria in one of those matches. You know, this was really a hard-fought match. Both teams had chances. In the 78th minute right there, the header by Peter Pogba. That put France ahead. That was the first goal of the match. And that seemed to really take the starch out of the Nigerian team. France scored again in stoppage time. The ball bounces off a Nigerian player right into the net. France moves on now to the next round. Algerian fans looking for a repeat performance against powerhouse Germany. Algeria really made it tough for the Germans today. In the 93rd minute, Germany able to get on the board. But there was still time left to play in overtime in this one. The Germans were able to add an insurance goal in the 119th minute after a scramble out front. Finally, the Germans are able to score. They were able to win it 2-1, but it was not an easy match for Germany. They're going to play France in the quarterfinals. The Seattle Mariners are still playing some pretty good baseball right now, several games over 500, and they're looking to make a move in the Western Division tonight against the Houston Astros. The Mariners brought out the big bats for this one in the second inning. The Mariners' Mike Zunino crushes one to left field, a two-run blast. The Astros pitcher, take a look at what he's doing afterwards. He just can't believe that someone hit a home run off him. In the fourth inning, another long ball for the Mariners. Michael Saunders rips the fastball into the upper deck. That gave the Mariners the lead, and they did not look back. Another home run after that. 4 of them all told in the game. Seattle wins it 10-4 the final. We'll be right back.
News Channel 8 at sunrise. Winner of the Emmy for Best Morning Newscast 2 years running.
What's cooking, Sam the man? Thomas Jefferson, what you got there? The new Honda CR-V. Epic. I saved so much at the big event. Got the new toy.
Come in now for the July for Honda sales event and get explosive savings on every new Honda. Kelley Blue Book's best overall brand 2 years in a row.
Sammy, owning a Honda is the bomb. Kaboom!
Hurry, this event ends July 7th. See your Northwest Honda dealer now.
Hey, you like bacon?
I like bacon.
You'll want the DQ $5 lunch with a new bacon cheeseburger.
I like bacon.
A delicious hot-off-the-grill cheeseburger topped with crispy hickory smoked bacon.
Bacon.
Plus fries, drink, and a sundae.
I like sundaes.
All for just $5.
The unbeatable DQ $5 lunch, even better with the new bacon cheeseburger. Only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Bacon.
Get an unbeatable deal this Independence Day from your dependable independent dealers. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Save $200 on this Electrolux titanium laundry pair and get up to $1,000 in rebates when you purchase select Electrolux built-in kitchen packages. Plus, pay no interest when paid in full within 12 months. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself? Visit yourunbeatabledeal.com to find the independent nearest you.
We could say a lot about the most track-tested IS ever. About its stiffer suspension. Precise $69 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
We all know that Matt Zaffino can bring the heat, at least when we're talking about the weather.
Yeah, but who knew he could bring the heat on the pitcher's mound? Beautiful night for baseball out of Rawtucket Field in Hillsboro, where the Hops invited Matt to throw out the first pitch. This was live on our news earlier tonight. We've seen some of these go south, if you will, recently. But Matt spent some time in the bullpen, and check it out. Yeah, it paid off. Matt made it clear we would have some 90s in the forecast, but we were unlikely to see any 90s on the radar gun with his pitch. Still, right down the middle.
Pretty impressive. And I learned a new phrase. Bring the cheddar.
That's what the pitchers told him ahead of time.
Bring the cheddar. I think he did. We'll be right back.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino is the area's most trusted meteorologist. Read his forecast in the Oregonian.
The Kia Soul with 0.9% APR financing needs to be on your shopping list. It won the ALG Residual Value Award, has Bluetooth connectivity, an overall 5-star safety rating, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The fun-to-drive Soul should be the only car on your shopping list. With 0.9% APR financing for qualified buyers, there's never been a better time to visit your local Kia dealer.
There is only one sport in the world that with a nod of your head, you are risking everything. 35 minutes.
National Republicans want Monica Webby in Washington, D.C. because Webby can't name one part of their agenda she disagrees with. An agenda that gives more tax breaks to millionaires and corporations who ship our jobs overseas, while they gut the middle class with cuts to seniors, education, and job training. National Republicans want Webby in the Senate to vote for their priorities. But with Jeff Merkley, we have a senator who always stands up for ours.
I'm Jeff Merkley, and I approve this message.
Introducing the Rip City 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, presented by Sprite. August 23rd and 24th at the Rose Quarter. This outdoor basketball tournament features divisions for all ages and skill levels, plus a slam dunk contest, 3-point shootout, kids clinics, food, music, and much more. Net proceeds benefit Special Olympics Oregon via the Make It Better Foundation. Sign up your team today at rosequarter.com/3-on-3.
Join forces in the fight to stop diabetes. Register for the Tour de Cure, a day full of fun and sightseeing through the Willamette Valley.
The American Diabetes Association Tour de Cure, July 26th. Register today at diabetes.org/Portland Tour de Cure.
Looking to replace that old car, but life has you on a budget? McCord's Vancouver Toyota can help. We have a great selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, and our finance department can help you find flexible terms and options to fit your budget. McCord's makes it easy.
Okay, it's going to be hot, but keep telling yourself tomorrow, it's not a record, it's not a record, it's not a record. It's only 95.
It's one day. It's one day.
One day. It's one day. 83 on Wednesday. Who's on the Tonight Show, Laurel?
Ricky Gervais.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll see you soon.
Exclusive Unit 8 investigation.
Why are you living out here? Cheap rent.
Dedicated to telling the whole story.
We went to the home where the alleged victim said she was raped.
From the center of where it's
A
happening.
noontime rally got so heated.
Demanding accountability.
Kyle Bush from Channel 8. We're doing a story on illegal dumping.
Asking the questions you want answered.
Is this neighborhood being taken over by squatters?
Our community, your story.
So who's complaining about the sidewalk?
Unit 8, only on KGW News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Nobody gives you building